This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest news from Alpena Community College with Dr. Olin Joyton. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is Kat Tomaszewski from Besser Museum. Good morning, Kat. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing very well, thank you. Your title is Museum Assistant. So what does a museum assistant get to do?
Well, it's very exciting because I get to do a little bit of everything.
Perfect.
I mostly help our executive director, Chris Witulski, but I also get to help out with the collections, and that's also very exciting because you get to experience the history firsthand.
Well, I'm going to an institution in our community that's so rich with history and great staff, and the presence in the community must be a very fulfilling job too.
It is, and that's another great thing I get to do is the marketing and the promotions, and that helps me to work with the people and share all of the amazing things that we have with them.
Perfect. And today we want to talk about a few things, and one is the cold collection.
Yes, we are about to open our cool artifacts from cold storage, and museums are very special, but we can only put a fraction of the items we have on display. So it's very hard to show everything we have. And this exhibit allows us to put all of these things on display and really showcase what they are and how important they are. And it's also very important to assess their condition and to treat them. And this gives us that opportunity to make sure that everything is being taken care of and is stored properly.
Can you give me an idea of some of the items we may be able to see?
Well, we have some really cool things. My favorite is a table that was on a yacht back in the 1890s in Alpena. So that's in amazing condition. We have some very cool old sewing machines, beautiful fireplaces, old Victrolas and record players and the wax cylinders, and they all still work.
Oh my.
And every Friday we're going to be doing tours of that room. Our collections manager will take people through and do an interactive tour with them.
Ooh.
So
sounds great.
Yes.
And then you have a really awesome piano.
Yes, this is my favorite part right now of the museum. We just had it tuned and it's in beautiful condition. And the piano was Olive Steele's, and she was from Chicago. And she was a theater organist, and she traveled up here on the theater circuit and got a job at the Maltz Theater, which is the state theater right now. And she met Mr. Fred Steele, and they fell in love, but she had to leave because she was still on the theater circuit, and she took a few other jobs and then found her way back to Alpena because you can't resist true love.
Yes.
And then she came here and joined the First Congregational Church, and the rest is history. She's a very important part of this town.
And so you have her, it's on loan, her piano, or is it
It
part
was
of our
given
collection?
to us. So
Wow.
that is on, as soon as you walk in the doors, that's the first thing you see.
Wow.
And we will be featuring that piano in a series of music programs in March.
Now, will you get to play the piano?
Yes.
Oh, yay.
Yes, March 8th, 15th, and 22nd at 3 p.m. They're all Sundays. We'll be hosting a series of members-only programs, so it's an exclusive for our members, but you can become a member anytime. So anybody who wants to participate in those programs is more than welcome to, as long as they talk to us and become a member. And March 8th, we'll be doing a Beethoven series with Bronwyn Woolman and Loretta Beyer. And then March 15th, my group, the Blue Notes, will get together, and it's Bunny Lyon, Dr. Olin Joyton from Alpena Community College, and then I will play with them, and we play big band and swing and Glenn Miller, and so we'll be talking about that era, the 40s, and then March 22nd, Greg Adamus will come in and do a program on the Beatles.
Ooh, that'll be good.
Yes.
Okay, so lots of fun things. I know you brought some other things to talk about. What else is happening?
Well, we also just opened a new exhibit of maps, and we have maps that date all the way back to 1690, which is way over 300 years old.
Yes.
These maps are in perfect condition. My favorite is early on, the Mississippi River actually came up and almost touched Lake Superior.
I know.
And that's how they interpreted it. It's Basically, what would happen is these explorers would come over and they would write journal entries, and they were surveyors, and they would do those kinds of journal entries, and they might do some rough sketches, and then they would send those off to somebody a cartographer, who is the type of person who creates these maps, and they would try to recreate what the surveyor saw. But that's very hard. It's the same as trying to take, if I wrote a description of somebody to you and then asked you to draw it.
Yeah, that'd be
interpretation is very different.
I know when I was talking with Christine last time she was here, she said if you lay those maps out on the table and look at where the world is today, where we know it's true map from satellite and GPS and global positioning and all those things, to what they interpret, it's just unbelievable.
It is.
And every year you flip it forward, it changes and changes and changes.
Yes.
Exciting. So what else is happening at the museum?
We are getting ready to, let's see, we also have our Focus on Fun exhibit, which is the Association of Lifelong Learners Camera Club.
Ooh.
So that is very amazing. We have some terrific photographers in this area and artists. And
the planetarium?
The planetarium is a big thing. Next year we're getting ready to celebrate 50 years of the Best Museum, and we also want to upgrade our planetarium. We have a very amazing state-of-the-art sky theater right now, and we're the only full dome in northern Michigan, which gives us unlimited possibilities.
Yes.
But our equipment is antiquated, and we have the opportunity with community support to upgrade to a fully digital system that would still utilize our projector now for the sky, but then we could also show history and teach art and take people on front row seat trips through space. With a little controller you can just maneuver through everything, and it's so much more interactive, and it really brings people closer with the experience.
Now I know you had a series of events where you invited the public in to come and listen to some experts talk, some people from University of Michigan and our own local people here to talk about it. And how did those go?
They were great.
Good.
We had a huge outpouring of community support, and I think next year I'm excited that I know we're going to be able to upgrade.
And I had an invitation, but I ended up being out of town suddenly and wasn't able to come, but I was really looking forward to it because I know it's pretty awesome what we have right here in our own backyard.
It is.
And then let's go back. We have enough time to talk about being a member of the museum. Very painless, very easy, different levels of membership, single family member, all different kinds of levels. And all of the money that you pay towards a membership gets you into all the wonderful events, meet the artist, and events like you're doing in March, the music series, chance to be a part. And the important thing is you're help supporting the museum.
Yes, and that's a very important thing. People often think that we have local government help and state government and federal government financial support, but we do not. We operate fully on the support of the community through memberships and donations, and we do also participate in some grants, and we have some other funding available, but it's mainly the community that helps support us and keeps us going.
Well, I hope everyone comes to see the items out of cold storage. Sounds like it's a wonderful, wonderful display, and especially the piano that's been donated. And become a member quickly so you can participate in the March music events. And I want to thank you very much for being here and tell everyone we said hello.
I will. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Kat. I'll be right back following these messages.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Talk of the Town. I'm Olin Joyton, president of Alpena Community College. My guest this morning, MSP Officer Chris Keller. Welcome to the show, Chris.
Thank you. Thank you.
And it's great to see how you progressed from ACC to your current career. And you have just won a statewide award for the year 2014. Why don't you tell the audience about that to start off?
Yeah, this year, 2014, I was named as the Motor Carrier Officer of the Year for the state police. So it's a statewide for our division. There's about 103 of us in there, and every year they select one officer that works the road to be the Officer of the Year. And this year I was able to get selected.
Well, that's really fantastic. Motor carrier, does that mean any officer who's on patrol on the roads, or what's the meaning of that?
No, Motor Carrier Officer, it's a specialized division of the state police. So there's 103 of us, and we do a little bit different of a job than the troopers that you see on the road.
I see.
We all go through the same training, we just are specialized in working with commercial motor vehicles.
I see. So commercial trucking would
Correct.
be
Yes, anything from, a pickup truck that's commercial all the way up to the 11-axle big trucks that you see driving down the road.
Very good. Well, congratulations to you on the award, and
Thank you.
you made us proud.
Thank you.
Again, to have you on the show is a real honor. Let's go back to your boyhood. Where did you grow up, and ultimately how did you get interested in law enforcement?
Well, I grew up in Kalkaska, Michigan, so just on the other side of the state. And, when going through middle school and all that, I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do. About like my junior year of high school, I thought, I want to do law enforcement. Then when I thought about law enforcement, I was thinking, I didn't really know who I wanted to work for. But I remember growing up, you always saw the state police driving through town in their cars, and you always saw them in their uniforms. And I said, I said, I think I want to work for the state police.
Kind of looked up to them, didn't you?
Yeah, I kind of looked up to them, and I said, I think I want to work for the state police. So when I came to ACC the summer of 2007, I walked in the gym there, and there was all the booths set up, and Mike Roy was sitting at his booth with the criminal justice, and I walked over to him, and he was mighty friendly, and that's how my education in criminal justice started. And 2011, I was able to get hired by the state police.
That's fantastic. Now, talk about your decision to come to ACC. When you walked in that day, had you already decided to go to ACC, or was that a kind of an influence on your decision after you talked to Instructor Roy?
I already had made my mind up that I was going to go to ACC. I was recruited to come play basketball at ACC.
Very good.
So, and when through the recruiting process, what study fields they had was something I looked at. So I already knew ACC had a criminal justice program.
Good.
So that was what brought me here, is I knew I was going to come here, and I planned on being in the criminal justice program.
So you were pretty close by in Kalkaska. It all kind of meshed together with the basketball and the correct program that you wanted to pursue.
Yeah, it just seemed like the right place at the right time, and the situation worked out for me.
Good. Now, any particular recollections about your time at ACC, the services of Mr. Roy, other instructors, or other people on campus?
Well, I really liked ACC. I really thought, I came from a small town, not a very big school, so I really enjoyed that, because it's like, I was going to college, getting my higher education, but I still had, 20-some kids in the class, and that really made me feel comfortable. I really remember Phil Weiser's classes.
Oh, yes.
I really, really enjoyed his classes. He always seemed to bring things to light. And what I really liked about ACC is that there was a lot of people teaching criminal justice that had done police work before.
Or we're still doing it.
Or still doing
Yes.
it, yeah.
Working part-time for us and then having that real-world experience.
Yeah, and that really helped me, and they had a lot of good stories to share. And in the criminal justice world, it seems like you can learn a lot looking back in hindsight on stories from other people. And some people think it's just storytelling, but you can really take a lot away from it. And then Phil Weiser and Mike Roy, they had a lot to offer as far as that was considered.
It's part of educational theory or instructional theory now, and maybe it's always been to some extent. You can't leave out the theory and the basic principles, but to bring them to life with narratives and personal experiences, it's a great, and then application for the students, and project learning for the students. That combination of approaches really works best. So they were really contributing in a good way in that method of instruction.
Yes, they were.
And for so many people going off to a huge university, 40 or 50,000 students, classrooms of 500 or 600, nobody knows your name.
Yeah.
That's not the best solution. ACC, you'll get that small classroom, personal attention from the instructor, a really caring environment. People know who you are, and very often there's a process of maturation right out of high school that's best done at a community college campus, and then you're ready to spread your wings and fly.
I would totally agree. It didn't help me a lot, because I did go on to further education, and I felt that I got a good foundation from ACC.
Yeah, that's great. So let's talk about that. What was your next step after ACC en route to signing on with MSP?
I went to Rochester College.
I see.
I earned my associate's degree in criminal justice from ACC, and then I went to Rochester College immediately after, and they didn't have a criminal justice program, so I pursued a bachelor's in psychology.
Okay.
And then after I was done with there in 2011, I got a letter in the mail saying that the MSP was starting their hiring process, and I just started the process.
Very good. Was there an extra academy that you went to for the MSP?
No, we have our own.
Okay.
So contrary to like other agencies, if you get hired with the MSP, you'll go through their academy.
I see.
So it's in Lansing, residential, and so I started that. I got done with school in April of 2011, and I started the MSP Academy in July of
Okay.
2011.
Very good. And when you enter the academy, are you already in line to be an MSP trooper, or do they make the decisions after you finish it?
No, you have a job. You're
Yes,
in line
okay,
to be an
very
officer or a trooper, whichever academy you started.
Very good.
You are employed at the time of entering the academy.
Good.
Whether or not you make it through it or not, that's a personal choice
Oh,
that you
sure.
have to
Oh,
make.
yeah.
But no, you are
That's
an
great.
employee of the Michigan State
That's good.
Police.
What's ahead for you in terms of your career vision?
My plan is to continue to be the motor carrier officer here in the Alpena region. My wife's family's from here, and we like it here. I do plan on promoting, hopefully, sometime around the 10, 12-year mark. But as far as career, I'd like to continue to be here, and I'd also like to start trying to teach. That's a goal I have. 'Cause
Hey.
this summer I taught at our recruit school, and
Okay.
I really enjoy that. So
Well,
people that like to
hope
learn.
there's a place for you to come back to your alma mater at ACC.
I would like
Pass
that.
it on.
I
That'd
would
be
like
great.
that.
Any words of advice as we close out the program for people considering law enforcement career?
You have to really be into hard work. Make sure that you're mentally prepared to work harder than you ever had to work before, and just know that it's sometimes it's not always the most rewarding career while you're doing it, but it's the things afterwards, the people telling you thank you for your service and things like that. That it makes being a civil servant and working for any law enforcement agency completely worth it.
Great. Well, I appreciate your public service myself.
Thank you.
And appreciate also your being on the program.
you for having me.
Congratulations on your career success and the special award you've gotten.
Thank you.
And keep up the great work.
I will. Thank you very much.
Sure.
This has been Talk of the Town with Nancy Smitham and Dr. Olin Joyden. For a list of events taking place in Northeast Michigan, visit our website at www.wbkb11.com and click on Community. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.